Hey YouTube, Jason here with DayTradingFearless. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, make sure you leave them below, down below in the comments section. So let's jump right into it as always. And today we're going to talk about market profile, how to really understand market profile. And I'm going to try and break this down as simple as I can to just keep it on the most basic level, right? Because market profile, part of it is there is a science behind it, but it's also you could look at a chart and dictate one way. I could look at a different way and see something totally different, right? So it's kind of like we need to make it our own and be able to create what we see into what works for us. And here's the best way for me, okay? So we're going to take, this is a 30-minute, 20-day chart. And we have our market profile each day here. And then we also have over here is all the time, the past 20 days, right? So this is the market profile for just that day with the point of control, where the most volume traded. And then over here we have a cumulative of all the days, right? And it creates a bigger picture. And we have our point of control here, value area high, value area low. So the best way to think of it is this. Okay, so we've all been to like a mall, right? Or a store, but let's say it's a building where you have one floor here, you have a second floor here, and then you have a third floor up here, right? So to be able to get to each level, you need to take an escalator or stairs, right? So here, and here's another escalator or stairs, right? So think of it this way for market profile. We'll go from balance, okay, to excess. So we have balance, excess, back to balance, right? To excess to balance, to excess to balance, and so on. And think of when you're walking around the store, okay, you sit here and you go, okay, let me go down this aisle, down this aisle, down this aisle, and so on, right? And when you're done walking around that store, and let's say the bottom floor is menswear, right? So then what will happen is you'll walk around the whole store, check out all the clothing, things like that. And that's what creates this point of control, right? The most volume traded is where you've spent the most time. And maybe it might be an aisle or something like that. But on market profile, it is price. So you spend the most time at a certain price, right? Maybe you keep reverting back to the mean, right? If you think about it, you kind of go here to here. And if you think this is the mean, and what happens is you keep crossing above and below this mean multiple times and then just go sideways. And that's kind of what happens here where you have the most excess, right? And usually a very clean market profile will be like a bell shape, and then you'll have excess down below. Okay, very little time spent, and then excess up above, okay? So that's kind of what we're looking at. Well, what happens is you're done walking around the first floor, you then have to take the escalator or the stairs to the next level, to the second level, right? And that's kind of what happens here, is we spend very little time here, okay? And then we kind of walk around this second level. This second level might be housewares, right? Maybe we need a new pillow, bedding, something like that. So we spend time, but we might not spend enough time because or that much time in there on the second level, or maybe we spend more time than we did on the first level because we really don't need clothes, but we want to see what's new, but we're really looking for something specific instead of asking somebody for help. We feel, because we're men, we feel like, hey, we need to find this on our own and not ask for help. And so we end up spending more time. Like you see here, we actually spent more time and more contracts traded here, okay, I won't say time, but more contracts traded here than when we were down here. How do I know that? Because if I draw a line right here, volume only went here, but here we had more volume that traded in these 2 days than all 3 of these at the point of control, right? So then when we're done, we move up to the next level and so on, right? We keep kind of moving up higher and higher and higher. And then we get to the third level, and then this is where we spend probably a majority of our time, okay, walking around. Maybe this third level is music and electronics, right? So we're walking through this and we're just really taking our time, okay? Kind of you see price take its time and look at how big this is, right? And if you think about it, we go from balance, take the elevator up, very little volume trade, which is excess, and then find balance again, right? And it's just kind of like the excess is going up the elevators until you're at the next level where you then start to walk around. So I hope that kind of really makes it understand clearly, and we could see right now we're in a form of excess right now, right? Because we're just working our way higher. Yeah, we're still trying to balance and do all that, but spend time. But again, we're at the beginning stages, but we keep moving higher and higher. This is kind of excess right here, and then we balance. Right? So excess is just maybe go up to the third level, and let's look at it this way, right? Let's say, let's remove this, let's bring this down, okay? And let's say there's a level which is women's, and we really don't care about, right? This is just excess, right? Just going up, up, up. Well, we might go here to the second level, right? And then what happens is we're like, oh, this is women's, we don't care about that, we want to go to electronics, so we spend very little time on this floor, and that's essentially what we're doing here. We're just going up, up, up on the escalator, very little time, and then move up to the next level. So it's just trying to understand how market profile works, how to do it. And then what happens is when you come back down, right, I like to look at this as tree branches, right, on the bigger picture. So when we start to come down, okay, again, it's finding excess. You're taking the escalators down all the way back down all the levels. But over here, the way I like to look at this is these are branches, right? You're in the tree. Think of the Amazon, if you watch these Animal Kingdom documentaries, right? You'll see monkeys climbing a tree, and then all of a sudden they'll just try and jump on one and they'll miss a branch and they'll fall. Well, think of the high volume nodes, right? These are high volume nodes and low volume nodes, right? Think of the high ones where a lot of volume is traded as a branch, right? So if the monkey jumps to this branch over here, but he falls, chances are he's going to hit the first branch and bounce. Well, that's what price does, right? So if we start to pull back, I would look at this high volume node, right, which was the point of control on this day, and watch for the buyers to come in and maybe look for a bounce off that. Now, with low volume nodes, you have one of two things that'll happen. A low volume node is you'll either come down, touch it, and bounce, okay? Maybe you hit it right at that perfect spot, Or you'll see price come down and blow right through and usually go to the next high volume node, and then you'll see bounce, and it'll probably bounce right back up to the low volume node. Okay, that's a lot of times what will happen. And so I'll look for price as we're falling. If we start to fall, I know this was all balanced. Hey, we're coming back down the elevator, right, or the escalator, okay, or stairs, coming back down. I know there's a high volume node. Maybe I go, hey, maybe they'll try and clean this area up on the market profile and make this one really nice bell-shaped curve like this, because it's kind of choppy, and maybe price will fall and will come kind of trade within this level, probably somewhere around here, right? So price will bounce, come here and then bounce, and then go sideways and fill all this in, which will fill all this in, and then price can either go back up or continue on its way lower. So this is kind of a brief explanation of how market profile works. I hope this is helpful. I hope I didn't make it too confusing. If you found value in this and you're watching till the end, please hit the like button. It really helps with the algorithm. But again, just try and pass on some knowledge that hopefully this stuff will really help you guys in your own trading. So as always, be safe out there, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.